Let's go over most common objections in any sales. Now, before going over all these objections, of which there are 5, I want to make sure that you guys understand something and take it step by step. This part, it is very crucial for you to remember the pain points for the client. And it's very important for you to remember, the problems the company, the customer, the person was having. What are the problems? The objections. The way you solve the objections is by remembering the pain points, though we will go through that. So one of the biggest objection is always price, right? So here, let's say the company says something like, well, look, price is a big problem. And so here you would say something like, look, I completely understand, our services aren't cheap. That's fair enough, but we're good at what we do. And for me, I know that you're having problems in X and X and X. And it would be it would be in my best interest to make sure that these don't exist anymore, so that, remember when I said, how is that affecting you as a business? So that you're not having your business not make money, you're not having a loss in your business. Look, for me, we understand, I think it's fair to say that this is costing your business a lot more than our service. And by the way, it should, right? Because any solution should be saving the company time or money. It's either time or money. Remember that, right? So I obviously, if you don't have the right person, if it's marketing, whatever, we know that we're going to try and make you more money, or we are going to save you time, which is obviously going to save you money. And so I know we're a little bit on the expensive side, though for us, if we can solve your problems and if we can make everything smooth for you and we can save you time as well as make you more money, then I'm fairly sure that our services are completely worth it. Reiterating, by the way, the problems. Now, if they're still adamant that the price is too, I understand that, but the price is still too high. Let's say whatever you're charging, and this is why the negotiating course is going to be very, very useful for you guys. And again, let me know in the comments, please, if this is of use. But here you would say something like, look, not a problem. And you would maybe negotiate on other things. Maybe you negotiate on the contract. Maybe you negotiate on the service you're providing. And again, I'm going to go through this. I need a whole 2 hours maybe on just going over negotiations with you guys. But here you would say, you would negotiate with them. And just to help you guys, remember, please subscribe to the channel so that when I make a negotiating course, you benefit from that. But when you're negotiating down, and let's say your price is £5,000, you would never go down to, okay, you know what, for you, I would do £4,000. That's the worst way of negotiating. You will drop it down to maybe, look, it's £5,000. I don't want to reduce our service. I don't want to reduce the quality of our service. I want to make sure you get the right quality. That's the main thing for me, because that will mean that I am able to save you time, make you more money, whatever it is, whatever your product and service is, right? I'm able to do that, reiterating what you're going to do that. And so based on that, look, I'll do it for £4,850, but that really is pushing it. Here, what you're doing is it's very important for you guys to understand this. See, if you reduce from 5,000 to 4,000, you've devalued your product or service very quickly. But actually, if you go from 5,000 to 4,850 and you've made it out like it's a big deal, you've kept the value of what you are providing, which again will help you in the future, because if you continue to do business with this customer over the long term, bearing in mind, if you do another 10, 15, 20 deals would mean an extra £3,000. And so every £100, everything, it matters. And more importantly, it doesn't devalue you. It's not always about the money. It's also about how you come across as a company, which, by the way, comes into the branding side. And that is exactly something we're going to cover as well. Another objection often is we already use another company or we use another product or a service or something like that. So there's a competitor basically involved. So how would you address this issue? Well, if you've got another competitor, one, understand this, guys, right? If they're using someone else and they are speaking to you, then the likelihood is there is interest from them, because they're not going to waste time speaking to you if they're using someone else. It's fair to say that, right? But more importantly, here again, what is the important part is understanding what the problems were and what the competitors weren't doing well. That's why you were asking them what you were asking them before. And so here you would say, well, look, I know you're obviously having these current problems. I understand that, they're not delivering on this and this and this. And obviously that's affecting you as a business. So I'm not saying drop them, but I am saying use us and see how we do, because we might be able to save you a lot of time, make a lot more money. And it's fair to say, Mark, say the name. And then here you would say something like, and it's fair to say, Mark, I think I've understood your problems and I've understood what issues you're having. Where, maybe the other business doesn't understand it. I've taken my time out to understand what's going wrong, where the problems are, and how that's affecting you as a business. So I would say I'm in a good position to now solve those problems. My question is, does the other business even understand what the problems are? Because if they did, they would have just solved them. So look, it's a question, I think it's with you, right? I am looking to solve the problems you're having. I know it's affecting you as a business. We are able to do that. More importantly, I understand the problems and I'm taking the time out to understand what's going wrong. Then you would go into close, which obviously we will talk about the close at a later point as well.